Hi there. Welcome to the Small Business Coffee Break, the series where we take a few minutes to work on your business, not just in it. Today we're going to talk about, can a great lawyer walk you through a lawsuit? With Alex Barthet of the Barthet Construction Law Firm. Alex has over 13 years of experience helping contractors and construction businesses all over the state of Florida. So grab a cup of coffee and let's get into it. On the issue, even on going to small claims court, because it's a micro version of the same thing,
Yes.
right? It can give you that familiarity, really gives you a lot of just peace as far as going through the process. Because the one thing you can't do is freak out.
Yes, no. That's the absolute
worst thing you could do is
Yes.
freak out.
Yeah, and having a good lawyer, he or she will explain the process to you, kind of explain where you are, what are the next steps. The vast majority of cases settle. Most of our cases settle anywhere from 3 to 9 months from the time the case was initiated at some compromise between the parties. We never get to trial. It's pretty rare that any case goes to trial. Statistically, it's less than 2% of all the cases that get filed.
Wow, that's even less than I would have thought.
Yeah, that actually go to trial. And by the way, the vast majority of those that may start the trial actually settle before there's ultimately a verdict.
Okay.
So the cases that actually go from beginning to a judge or jury issuing the final findings of fact and conclusions of law, less than 1%. So just know that, much more likely than not, it's going to get resolved via some type of compromise.
Right. Some type of situation, and it's funny how, I know from experience, professionally and personally, one of the things that happens is you get served if you haven't already gotten the text, and it's a very formal document.
Yes.
And then you Google what to do when you get served. And I'd like you to know that the last time I did this, Google actually had pages still then, right? You could go to different pages. I went 5 pages down, and all 5 pages agreed to get a lawyer. Like that it was impressive how that had happened, and it's because the reality is what you're about to go through is a very formal process.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be as stressful as it sounds, but it's very formal, and that's what makes it intimidating. And I only see that from the claims perspective. So in insurance, we see sometimes there's a covered claim. You're not wrong. The standard liability policy for a business does not cover contractual disputes in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
It may cover the bodily injury or property damage that resulted from a contract, right? The contract says who's responsible for what or that kind of a thing. But the contractual dispute between two parties is almost never on a regular liability policy for a business. And so, we've seen this process happen with the slip and fall case, or fire that occurred because a contractor did a job, and it can be and the other side, everybody's arguing their position, they're jockeying for their best win, and sometimes they yell at you, and it's good to have someone next to you to say, hey, can't yell at people, and with authority.
Yes.
Because you feel like you're on your heel in those situations.
Yeah, having a trusted advisor, a good attorney at your side will make you feel much better.
You just get through the process and let you sleep better at night.
Yeah, and as well, the other thing that a good lawyer will do is they will dispassionately give you the best advice for you, which you may not have the clarity of seeing, especially when you're dealing with an emotional situation.
Right.
Do you really want to continue this case? We're only $5,000 apart. It really makes sense to resolve this case because you're going to pay me more than that, in the next month or two anyways, when we could have the certainty of being done today. You need someone to kind of,
smack you around a little. Sometimes I know it's important, to have an individual. I'm a firm believer in telling people the brutal truth sometimes, simply from the perspective of you save energy, time, and lack of sleep, which there's no amount of money or energy or time that's worth the losing sleep over something that can be resolved.
Yes.
and the value of having an individual willing to do that with you is almost uncalculable.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
Absolutely.
Alex, thank you so much. Let's keep the conversation going. If you have any questions you'd like to ask Alex, ask him in the comments, or his contact information is in the description. If you have any questions you'd like me to ask Alex or any other professional in their field, my contact information is also in the description, and I'm always available via DM. See you next week for another cup of coffee and more questions answered.